Over the course of your adventures in Classic, you're going to pick up a lot of items, and you're going to need a place to hold them all. So in this guide, I'm going to show you how to increase your storage space without necessarily having to purchase bags with your hard-earned gold. When you first begin to play those early levels, you're going to quickly find out that storage space is its own kind of resource. No storage space means you're going back and forth to vendors and your bank more often, which means less time leveling. So in this guide, we're going to talk about the following topics to help you increase your storage space in Classic WoW. The first thing I want to talk about is your bank, because besides your starting 16-slot backpack, it's your most significant storage space available when you begin. To access your bank, you will have to find the bank in any one of your faction cities. When you reach higher levels, you will also find bank access at the 4 Steamweedle cartel towns of Ratchet, Booty Bay, Gadgetzan, and Everlook. Your bank comes with 24 available slots to store items, as well as 6 bag slots that you can purchase. The prices for each additional bag slot will go up accordingly. Once you purchase the bag slot, just grab any bag you own or carry and move it into the bag slot to access when you open your bank. Keep in mind that the bank slots are considered to be equipped but not carried. This means that if you have a quest item in the bank, you won't be able to turn in the quest unless the item is actually on your person. Same too, if you have a unique item in your bank, you will not be able to collect the same unique item in your toon's inventory. The smallest storage bags available begin with 6 slots and go all the way up to 16. While you're out questing and killing mobs, you will have a very minimal chance of finding a world drop bag. It was reported during the Classic Beta that the drop rate of these bags were severely lower than what was being seen on private servers, so we should expect the same low drop rate when Classic goes live. These are the bags that have the potential to drop off of any mob you kill according to the level of the mob. What you'll immediately notice about these bags is that they do not bind to your character, so when you eventually replace them with larger bags, you can sell them on the auction house, send them to your alts or friends, or use in your bank. When it comes to world drop bags, the largest you can obtain are the Traveler's Backpack and the Pumpkin Bag, which both carry 16 slots of space. The only time the Pumpkin Bag is available is during the Hallow's End event in October. In every city and many towns, you will find general vendors who can sell you additional common bags. I have found these bags to be drastically overpriced, and so I generally don't buy any in order to save gold. However, if you're desperate for storage, the vendors could be an option. Tailors have the lucrative option of being able to make bags for themselves and sell to others. These tailoring patterns can be learned from a trainer, purchased from vendors, or dropped from a creature or boss. Most of the tailoring-made bags don't bind to accounts, with the exception being the Mooncloth bag and the Bottomless bag. The Mooncloth bag pattern won't be available until Phase 4, because it drops from Lethen, who is one of the Dragons of Nightmare. The Bottomless bag will be available a little sooner when Azurgos enters the world and Ashara during Phase 2. One 6-slot bag is crafted by Horde Leatherworkers, who get the pattern by completing a quest given to them at level 10 by Varen Tallstrider in Thunderbluff. Profession bags and ammunition bags can also be crafted by tailors and leatherworkers, but I will discuss those bags later in the video. For those of you who are not tailors and who would rather not purchase bags, you can earn bags by completing specific quests. We will start with the smallest bags and move up to the largest that can be earned. Rather than telling you about each quest, I will just go ahead and show you the title of the quest and where it is located. Maps with a blue border indicate the quest is Alliance only, red border is Horde only, and yellow is available for both factions. There are hundreds of rare spawns that roam the lands of Azeroth, but 2 have the potential to drop a bag. The first one is Fedfinel, who can be found here in Elwyn Forest, and he can drop for you the 8-slot Nullhide bag. In Westfall, you will want to find Foe Reaper 4000, who can spawn in any of these fields here. Foe Reaper has the potential to drop for you a 10-slot large rucksack. Now, this is not a rare spawn, but the Venture Company Foreman Goblins located here in Stranglethorn Vale can possibly drop a sturdy lunchbox, which is a 12-slot bag. In some dungeons, there are bosses and mobs that can drop bags for you, so make sure you don't skip these. The first bag is the 10-slot Snakeskin bag, which is found in the Wailing Caverns, and it can possibly drop from Lady Anacondra, who is located here. Another 10-slot bag, called the Murloc Skin bag, can drop from Gelahast, located here in Blackfathom Deeps. Once you reach the final levels, you will want to find Ripley Screwspigot, who is found here in the Blackrock Depths, because he can drop the 16-slot Wayfarer's Knapsack. When you start raiding, you can get the 18-slot Onyxia Hide Backpack from the dragon it was named after, Onyxia. Lastly, if you find yourself in Zul'Gurub, you can possibly get the 18-slot Panther Hide Sack, which can drop from High Priestess Arlok. Aside from generic storage, you also have profession bags for enchanting and herbalism. These bags tend to hold more slots than your average generic bag, but you will only be able to store the corresponding profession-related items in these bags. As an example, you can't put any mining bars or weapons in either of these bags. The 3 enchanting bags are all created by tailors and are learned from acquiring the patterns. The patterns for the 16-slot Enchanted Mageweave pouch and the 20-slot Enchanted Runecloth bag can both be purchased by supply vendors. The pattern for the big bag of enchantment, however, drops from Magister Calandris in Dire Maul, which won't be available until Phase 2. For the herbalist bags, the 12-slot herb pouch can be purchased by herbalism suppliers. The other 2 are created by tailors, but in order to purchase the patterns from Mishta, who is found in Silithus, you need to have acquired some reputation with the Cenarian Circle. To purchase the 20-slot Cenarian herb bag pattern, you need at least a friendly reputation, and to purchase the 24-slot satchel of Cenarius, you need to have achieved a reputation level of Revered. There are 2 types of class bags, and they are soul bags for warlocks to hold their soul shards, and ammo or quivers for hunters to hold their ammunition. Since it's a smaller category, let's talk about the soul bags first. There are 5 soul bags available in Classic, and the first 2 are gained through your class quest. Both are from quests called The Binding, and the 12-slot Small Soul Pouch quest is available at level 20, while the 16-slot Box of Souls is available at level 30. Tailors can craft the remaining 3, so to make the 20-slot Soul Pouch, you need to purchase the pattern from tailoring supply vendor VizClick, who is found in Gadgetzan. To learn how to make the 24-slot Fellcloth bag, you need to get to Skolomance and kill Jandis Barov, who will drop the book for all tailors in the group with a skill of 285 or more to learn the recipe. Finally, to get the 28-slot Epic Core Fellcloth bag pattern, you need to kill the world boss, Lord Kha'Zix, in the Tainted Scar of the Blasted Lands, who can potentially drop it. Remember though that Lord Kha'Zix will not be available until Phase 2. Ammo pouches and quivers are a must-have if you're a hunter, because they increase your ranged attack speed, which is a substantial DPS increase. Now, there are a lot of ammo pouches and quivers to go through, so again, instead of talking about each one, I'm just going to show you which ones they are and how you can obtain them. I have wanted to make this video for quite some time because bags are such an incredibly useful thing to have plenty of, especially while you're leveling. Hopefully you learned something in this guide and that it helps you get the bags you need more easily. If you enjoyed this guide, please be sure to like, subscribe, and click on that bell to be notified of new content I create for WoW Classic. You can follow me on Twitter at @ICozyOldClassicWoW, or you can just click on the link provided below. For some of my other content, you can click on any of these links here. Thank you very much for watching, and if I had a penny for every time my wife and I argued about money, she'd spend it on a handbag.